Welcome back. Well, you guessed, the secret sister is Ruth McCartney here with us. And let's find out more about her. You know what? Did you see that? Excitement going in Moscow. Isn't that incredible? Wow, she was truly as the beauty and the power. I was just like, oh, I can, myself, I've never been there. I'm looking forward to going there. So, that was very exciting what we just saw.
It was very cold too.
It's cold?
Oh yeah.
It's all the time cold there?
Well, no, we shot that in November.
Oh.
And it was minus 56 degrees Celsius outside. And they had this, you know, Russia doesn't have a lot of money for technology. They do great artwork and stuff, but they don't have a lot of money and stuff like we do here. And we were shooting inside this old dacha, 4 stories high. Little tiny fireplace was the only source of heat. So we were all just frozen to the bone. You know, we kept drinking vodka and going back in front of the camera, more vodka, you know. And so we're freezing to death. And I thought, you know, I'm sitting there, they're blocking the scene and moving the camera dolly and stuff. I'm sitting there looking around, and I noticed there's a big light shining through the window from outside. And I said, gosh, I didn't notice a crane or a cherry pick or anything when I drove in. They said, oh no, there's some guy up on the roof holding the light. He'd been up there for 6 hours outside. And his gloves were literally just frozen to
Oh my goodness.
This poor old Igor is on the roof, and they're just like, oh yeah, that's his job. He holds lights. I'm like, get a crane, you know. Well, no money. Come on, move on. Good grief, somebody take him a sandwich, you know.
Talking about technology, it looks so beautiful and powerful, but there is so much work behind.
It was held together with string, the whole video. Young director, Andrei Rezenkov, that had only previously worked on second unit stuff, the Russia House and various stuff that had been shot in Moscow. And this was his first time directing, and so they didn't give him a very big budget, unfortunately. So it looks like a big budget MTV video, but I think it cost, oh, I don't know, about $800.
Yes.
Everybody got, you know, $2 and a hot meal.
Oh my goodness, yeah. It's just amazing, you know, what we have here in America.
Gosh, you know, I come back here after trips to Russia, and I go to the supermarket and I hear somebody at the bread counter saying, Dad, haven't you got any pumpernickel? What do you mean you're out of rye? I just want to smack them.
Yes.
You know, it's like, hello, I've just spent 3 months in a country where you wait 4 hours for a cabbage.
Right.
Get a clue.
Right, yes, I know exactly.
So we are very blessed in this country. And I think that, you know, some American children, if they get out of hand and they start wanting a faster modem and a bigger computer, they should go to Russia and work on a farm for a couple of weeks.
I agree, yes. I come from the very poor country. I understand exactly what you're talking about.
We're blessed.
You know, okay, let's talk about it. What is it like, your brother?
Right now, of course, he's falling apart. I mean, he's just...
They're in love so much. Yes.
I mean, they were one person, really. It was incredible to see, especially in in any relationship, to make that work. But in show business, I mean, they were together like I am with Martin, with my boyfriend, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you really have to work at that because he's, you know,
have to synchronize your breath together.
Exactly, and he's very artistic and very full of fantasy, and he's a real dreamer, and she's very practical and down to earth, and so they really had
work
to
together,
give and take, and they just couldn't bear to be parted. If he would go, you know, she'd run a bath for him, and he'd go take a bubble bath, and she would go sit on the floor in the bathroom and read him the newspaper. You know, I mean, they were always together. So it's a real tragedy, and I think that Paul also lost his mother to breast cancer. So I think that for him, having lightning strike twice in the same at the same thing is just unbelievable. But I believe that obviously he has wonderful children. My nephew and nieces are great, and they're strong people. They'll pull through, and he has the power of his music. And I think that we will probably see some incredibly poignant and sad songs for sure. But I think he's going to pour all his energy back into his music.
That's great to hear. That.
Yeah, but he's great. I mean, he's just he's a Gemini. He's double Gemini. So there's 4 of him. So you know, there's 3 nice guys and 1 weirdo.
What are you thinking about you in Moscow?
Oh,
what do you say?
Obviously, clearly, I'm sure thinks I'm nuts. The Beatles only went to Russia once. They changed planes flying from Japan back to London, I think in 1967 or 68, and they got to look at Moscow airport, and I think they ran screaming, never again, you know, because in the 60s, as you can imagine, Moscow was a pretty scary place. And so, you know, when I go, and McCartney in Moscow, the big posters all up in Cyrillic and Russian, whatever. The first time I went, the poor fans were like, oh my God, he's changed his mind, he's come to Russia, you know. No, sorry, wrong one, me, well I do, you know. So it's this kind of a joke with my mother and I in the family that, you know, he got the half of the world with room service of 5-star hotels, and I got the half of the world with, you know, old helicopters held together with gaffer tape, and but I got the half of the world with frozen vodka. So hey, can't be all bad.
Yes. That's great. If you want to tell those who want to leave the message, it's a situation like yours, you know, they come from very famous brother or sister. What will you tell them right now?
Oh, just be true to yourself. Be positive. Yes. Just do the best that you can do, and don't compare yourself to anybody.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can't be expected to live up to. You know, there are a lot of kids, especially in this area, there are a lot of people in technology that say, I want to be the next Bill Gates. No, be the first Fred Smith.
Absolutely.
Don't be the next
yes, absolutely.
And I think, not just in show business. I mean, if your brother's a racing driver or a doctor or a downhill skier or whatever, just be you.
Well, thank you for being here. What? Did you hear that one? What is the root message? Be an original. Don't be a copy. Power is in you, and celebrate every living breath. And this is your last breath. And that's very important. And be grateful for your life. Have that honor and gratitude in your living breath. Learn to really understand what you have. Don't say what you don't have. Acknowledge what you have. And what are you going to do about that? This is what the Ruth went through. Being in Paul McCartney and being sister has always been hidden in the shadow. But she said, no, I'm going to be me, Ruth, not Paul McCartney. I want to be now original. This is the magic word she shared with you. And being true to yourself, recognize your strength, recognize your weakness, recognize your beauty, and you're going to able to unite it together as one. Put your body, mind, and spirit, and celebrate every living breath. And also she's talking about what do you do in a pain and hurt? You have to move on. What are we saying it? Rejoice in the lesson of the pain and hurt. It gives you strength and it gives you freedom. So she say, my brother in one size corner, I am another size corner. She complete. And now I'm sure she will not stop right here. When she come home here, she go to grocery shopping, doing all this, really connecting and touching and reality, understanding, be famous, being in just like woman, wife, girlfriend, what there may be. So you need to understand, to really understand original being, who am I? I am me. Power is in me. I can't wait to be with you next time. I love you. God bless you, and celebrate every living breath. Don't forget, he can do, she can do. Why not me? Thank you.
That's okay.